Fun, fun. All right, we're back. Well, two of us are back. Yay! All right, it's just you and me, Tanner. All right, well, that was fun. That was just a little mini stream, and now I'm going to do the real stream now, okay? I hope you like the mini stream. That was just a short little mini thing, and then I'm going to go do something else. It's the real one. It was just a test before to see if you were cool enough to make it to this one. Hey, Rover. And now for something completely different. A 3D print. On a different stream. Hey, Mike. Welcome back. It just decided it wasn't going to go anymore, so it's always fun. The joys of streaming. Hey, Ben, how's it going? Yep. Okay. It wasn't just whole YouTube. Yeah. Everything just sort of seemed to freeze there for a bit. It's nice. It's fun. So maybe like the smash here if you get a chance. Thank you again. For those of you just joining the episode, this is episode 2 today, and we're printing the head of BB8. Very, very little cappy. His little cappy. You know, beautiful purple. Cripes. Woohoo! All right. Not me. I'm just learning Tinkercad. Trying to work on it. All right. I'll be right back. And we're back. Hey, what did I miss? Who's doing what? What's going on? What's going on? Oh, hey. Hey, Ron. How's it going? It's a 15-piece print that was preset. I tried graph, print supports, everything, and it always fails in the middle. What do you mean in the middle of the Z height as it's going up on the print? And how does it fail? Okay, it's not. Oh, yay. Don't adhere to the bed. Oh, yeah. What are you printing on? Glass or what kind of print surface? And do you have a heated bed? Tape. You mean like painter's tape? Do you have a heated bed? I think yes is I have a heated bed. Yep. All right. I don't know. Anybody here print on painter's tape? I've never printed on painter's tape. Glue stick does work. I do something, I print on glass, but I print on glue stick. And if you're ever in Germany, Stick brands, glue stick. It sticks. Okay, sorry, that's my bad attempt at a bad commercial. But glue stick, and then I dry it out with a hairdryer. So get any liquid that's in there, dry it out, and then put another coat on it if I really, really want it to stick. And then dry that out with a hairdryer. And then heat up the bed, and then it's good. Or you can just, if you don't have a hairdryer, you can stick a couple coats of the glue stick on the tape and turn on the heat bed and let it sit and dry it out. That helps it stick. And then try and print. And then you could smash down the first layer. If you're running something like Marlin 1.1.8, the new Marlin that has baby stepping, you can actually move. Oh, yeah, okay, that's a good idea. You can actually smash down. First, you can. Let's see. If you can see, I am on. You can't really tell. You can't really see that. That is baby stepping, and I smash my first, because I'm printing on right now on a non-heated bed. I will be changing out the bed and putting an inductive sensor on when I get back from in 2 weeks. But you can baby step, so I'll actually put the bed leveling a little bit, so it's actually a little bit closer to the bed, so that it'll smash the first couple of layers. And I have my part cooling fan off, and then once I get the first layers down and the part cooling fan kicks on, then I use the baby step and I'll bring up the Z a little bit. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Let's see.
Yeah, that's another point. Like this one here, on this, indicative to this printer, this side is always higher. Even if you dial it all the way back, it's still, because of this, it has a bow up. So in this corner, it's always a little bit higher. And some build surfaces, if you're printing on glass and you don't have good quality glass, you can have, or these Chinese heat beds, they're not always completely flat. Yeah, that's a good idea. You can also get a piece of aluminum. You can stick things underneath here and kind of like a shim. And so what I might do is actually put underneath the LM8 you use here, put some shims underneath there to raise it up so it's equal with there. Then I can change my with an inductive sensor for the bed level assist compensation. Then that would work as well. Yeah, mesh mixer would be a good thing if you think it's the. Cura, you can get some plugins for Cura which will help with your model as well. That's another option. But Mesh Mixer would be a good way to go ahead and let it go through the model and correct it if you think it's the STL. I would check your adhesion. If it's not adhering, like you can see that raft is pretty smashed. You've got to work a razor blade up under that to get that thing off. It's got 2 coats of glue. But yeah, again, if it's not that, it keeps failing every time in a specific way, then maybe it's the STL. Yeah, that's true too. I use Slick 3R, and I'll put a model where they do that, where they group stuff, and I can go in there and I can cut the model up, or even cut like pieces. If they put like 3 or 4 pieces on there, I can go into Slick 3R and just cut it up. That works as well. So that's an option. Another option is try another model and print. If you really want to check, print it, find something. Yeah, if you look on Thingiverse to check, if it's like a 200 by 200 bed, you can get some prints that will check, and you can then, like really flat ones that are almost as big as your whole build surface, and let it start printing. And you'll see where, after you do a bed level, you'll see if there are any issues in any parts of your your build surface, your print surface. Yeah, exactly. That's what this is. This is a raft. And partly to compensate because this side here sits a little high. Ugh. If this print fails, I know how I'm going to fix it. But I don't think so. It's going so slow. It's about 35 millimeters a second. So I don't think this should fail. Ooh. Need to be printed on layer 2. The whole model? It's gonna fail. If you can contact the person who made the SCL, ask them why I do that. This seems kind of stupid. Because literally, if you're not putting anything on the first layer, there's nothing to adhere. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not paying full attention, so maybe I'm just talking out of my left ear. Ron is headed to Murph. I don't have very far to go myself. Flip the whole print so that it leaves the design. Yeah, try and reorientate the print. There's multiple items though, yeah, I don't know. But if you can cut it into different pieces, like with something like Slick 3R, and then I use Cura 3.2 has the option to have it reorient the most optimal orientation. That saved me a few times. That saved a lot of support material. Or you could just, yeah, I don't know. Print lots of support material, but that's a lot of PLA, and that's a lot of plastic. Sorry, Ron, any kind of sorry about that, Ron. It seems any kind of punctuation, Nightbot is having issues dealing with punctuation. So you all have to write like like millennials, no punctuation, unless you want to watch Nightbot going, you can't do that. Oh, hold on, I'll have a look. Ooh. It says the model includes small supports. But that might not be enough for your printer and your conditions. Or you might have to add supports touching the build plate, like 10% or something like that. Needs a little more finishing work, but if you really want to print it and it's not doing anything else, that's one workaround. Because it's really weird organic shapes for the dragon. Yeah. This is going to be a slow print, I think. Let's see how it does at 45. I'm not sure. They're all off at, or headed to Murph, but Sean does a lot of, from Askew 3D, does a lot of interesting designs where he does a lot of heavily supported stuff, prints. All right, take care, Don. Sleep well. Did you try to add supports just touching the build plate, or did you try to add supports everywhere? everywhere is a bit of a pain because you end up with supports in any place where there's some sort of an overhang. But this piece here is actually, it's a dome. It's this top part here. And maybe you can see it's all support material. It's only about 10%. But the only part touching the build plate is this tiny edge here. That's why it's printed on a raft. But yeah, I would take, if it was me, I would take the suggestion and try a mesh mixer and see if that will help. See if the autofix will. I have no experience with it. Those guys can speak to it more than I can. But if and when you figure it out, let us know. The only other thing, if you had access to, or you knew somebody that had Simplify 3D, you could see if you could get them to, because in Simplify 3D you can add supports where needed, you can manually add supports. So if you knew somebody, or if you know somebody, or can find somebody who has Simplify 3D, you could send them, have them do it in Simplify 3D and add the supports manually, and then have them send you the G code, and then you can load it up and print it that way. You'd have to get them your profile for your printer, unless it says. But that's another option if you don't have a copy of. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna have a look at it myself. Hold on. Yeah, when I get a chance, I will have a look at it. I'm downloading it now. Do you have an email or Twitter or something like that? Idea Maker, that's another option, Mike. If you hit me up on Twitter, I'll have a look and see if I come up with anything. That is the nice thing about this 3D printing. I think we're connected on Twitter. You can send me a DM. Yeah, exactly, Mike. This is such a great community because if one person doesn't know something, another person has tried something else. And so, I'm not sure. Hold on, Dan. Oh, no, Ben. I am following you on Twitter now. Wow. Wing is oh yeah, you can see like on the just one of the wings, all the area underneath the so here's the wing and it's just like this. All the area underneath there is all red, meaning problems without support. Yeah, this wouldn't be the first model that somebody put up on Thingiverse where it's optimized to one or two printers, but not really realistic on most printers. Is it printing nice here? Just me, or is it? What the hell? This is gonna be a slow print, I think. Yeah, fixed is relative. Thingiverse is interesting that way. One man or one person's version of fixed is another man's version of huh? Or that might spark the question, excuse me, are you drunk? So Ron, how goes the prep for Murph? I'll be at the Raspberry Pi event here in Berlin. Not Murph, but, you know. I will be showing off my Octo print on with a webcam on a Raspberry Pi B+. And maybe a small Raspberry Pi W0. I don't know about Lucky. I've been up until 1 every night trying to get ready because I'm exhibiting stuff. So Ron, I'm guessing you're going not to exhibit, you're going to hang out and meet and network and all that. Yeah, I think that's the difference with Murph is the manufacturers have the stands and everybody else is there to network and meet and greet. And Chuck Halleback is bringing his upgraded version of the spool holder go-kart. Anybody been following Joel Telling's the 3D Printing Nerds 400 times upscaled OpenRC build? He's bringing that. Danyanori is doing the event. Yeah, cool. I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm guessing maybe Ron, you're going to do some streams or some videos. Yeah. McMaster Car doesn't make that size. Hi, I'd like an M3 but 400 times bigger. I'm sorry, McMaster Car doesn't make that sort of thing. Later, Ben. Yeah, put a picture on your Twitter, Ben. Take a picture of what's going on and put a picture up on your Twitter. Yeah, I like the video of him and Bill Duran going it together. I like Bill Duran Punish Props stuff. I was doing his stuff before I started building stuff in cardboard before I did 3D printing. Ah, cool. Yeah, James is going to be there. Chris is going to be there too, I think. I think he's excited now. The reality will kick in and he'll balance out. That's Joel telling. Actually, this was something that was inspired by Dalai Lomo and Punish Props. So that is a cardboard-based epoxy Darth Vader helmet with a Stormtrooper helmet on top of it. I did for Makerspace last year a Stormtrooper Samurai. I've only seen 2 other people do that. Yeah, I think Joe will be alright. And if he doesn't catch himself, his wife will probably catch him. This thing is doing alright. It's printing at 50 millimeters a second now. So what do you guys think? I'm doing Wednesday 3D printing hangouts. Won't be doing any the next 2 weeks, but do that as a regular segment. And then if I'm printing something, longer print, do a watch the 3D printer do its thing streams with no sound, just sort of like a video of a printer doing its thing. What do you guys think? I did a few in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, cool. As long as the filament holds out and I'm have the printer going, can't hurt. Oh, so much support material. Yeah, it wiggles because there's between the walls, there's 4 walls, inner and outer, because you need to be able to sand. And there's a little bit of infill, so it's that torture test where it's doing the infill between the 2 walls and it's going back and forth. So you're getting that, and it's moving the Y and the X, so you're getting that wiggle. And because it's the 2 element you use here and the 1 on this side, you do get a little bit of fluctuation. But because it's a circular print, it doesn't affect, you don't get so many artifacts because it's a spherical. So if you look at this here, same idea, but this was half, and it didn't, got a little bit of layer line there, but it doesn't really affect the print so much. And if I stuck it back in Cura and I changed settings to fill in between the walls to make it more solid, it would fix it, but it would make the piece heavier. And the point with the BB8 head is it has to be as light as possible, because if it's too heavy, it will just fall off BB8 because it's held on with some neodymium magnets. It's floating on top of the body, so it has to be as light as possible. If you look on YouTube and do a search, you will find people who are doing tests when they're doing the first drives of their BB8s and they haven't tuned their PID, so it doesn't ramp up, or PWM, and ramp down the speed. It just goes and it'll stop and the head will go flying off. And if the head is too heavy, it will just fall off. So the point is we want the parts to be as light as possible. So long story short, yes, it's wiggling, but it doesn't actually affect the print so much, as evidenced by that. and it's going to be epoxied and filled. So epoxy and primered and sanded and primered and sanded. So you need enough area to be able to sand it, sand down at least a couple layers. Clips for the top. Nah. There are clips. These pieces are held together because there are two little slots in there, here and here. And you stick a piece of 1.75 filament inside, stick them together, and then they're glued, and then they have to be bondoed and sanded and primed and sanded. Yeah. Yeah, you can see, because you see it's actually moving side to side to side to side to side. It's filling in. As it goes around, it's building. The layer is about that big, and it's building, and it's going between. Yeah, I was wondering that too. When do you sleep over? Rover's like a cat and takes cat naps. I'm tired. I'm asleep for 20 minutes. I'll be back. Or maybe you're like a little kid. Little kids are like that. If you get a 4-year-old, they'll run like crazy and then they'll crash out for 20 minutes and then they're back up and at it again. Yeah, I did that before I had kids. And the relationship, job, and all that. And this creative thing, this keeps me sane. The job pays the bills at the moment. Every time you use a punctuation, Nightbot's going a little bit nut. Nice snoring noises while they try. All right. I would have to apologize for my yelling at other drivers. I tend to talk to people, other drivers in other cars when I'm driving. Don't mind me, I'll just be sleeping. You have autopilot? Yeah, it's autopilot, sure. Be quiet, I'm sleeping. How long is your drive? I'm going to the Raspberry Pi event here, and my trip is about 40 minutes on the S-Bahn, on the subway. Sorry. I forget you guys don't know what an S-Bahn is. I've driven through Kansas and Texas where it's just so straight and just so nothing that I have found myself. I usually tend to pull over at a truck stop and crash out. Or I used to have a gallon of water in the car, like cold water, and I'd wash my hair with it. That always seemed to wake me up for a couple hours more. Don't ask me why, but it works. Really cold water, wash your hair with a gallon jug at a truck stop, you're gonna be awake for a while. Yeah. Texas is like a day. I've done the drive from like Boston, New York to Utah, to California, to Portland, Oregon, Arizona. I think I've driven across the U.S. 8 or 9 times. Up and down the West Coast a bunch of times. And as far as, say, North Carolina all the way up to Maine. I was born in the Caribbean. I live in Berlin now. It snowed. It's been below freezing. As soon as my kids finish school, I think we're going somewhere warm. That's a good idea. We cook a lot here, so we usually take time out and cook. If we're traveling, we pack up stuff. Yeah, okay, it's a long day. So you're gonna split it up into one full day drive, or you're gonna do 2 days? If that's we're taking the train. We're leaving on Tuesday, we're going down to Italy, but we're taking the train. And that's a 10 and a half hour train trip, one change in Munich. Ooh, this is gonna be a long print. It's about 10% done. It gets smaller and smaller, so it gets faster and faster, but 4 hours in, it's only 10% done. But it's just gonna go around and around and get smaller and smaller. Yeah, I don't know. This print, I think, is going to take a while. I keep saying that. I should just start saying that we're going to need a bigger boat. Yeah, Vegas is fun. It's a nice town. I know a few people have told me living there is a different, being a townie there versus being a tourist is really different. When I lived in California, it was easy. You could drive 6-7 hours and you could be in Las Vegas, so you could just drive up for the weekend, spend the weekend, eat and sleep in a hotel for cheap. Yeah, I learned a trick, even if you didn't want to really gamble, you just bring nickel slots. You bring nickels, roll the nickels, and you play the nickel slots, and you drink for free if you're gambling. So every time we wanted to drink, you just stick some nickels in a nickel slot and tip $1, and you get a drink. Because food, hotel rooms, and alcohol are cheap. In Vegas, they give that stuff away practically. Well, they give the drinks away if you're gambling. Yeah, exactly. My uncle showed me a few tricks with the slot machines. I used to leave with, I don't know, between like 50 and $300. But I'd always quit. Once I won, I'd quit and walk away. Yeah, Vegas is fun. Exactly. I've been in Vegas in early 21st century, 2001, 2002. I moved back to Europe in 2003. Where would you go, Mike, if you could move somewhere south? Yeah, cool. Tennessee's nice. Virginia's cold. Only ever spent some time in Norfolk and lived in right across the river from DC, across the bridge. No. was a military brat as a kid, and then just kept traveling on my own as an adult. DC was one of the cities I was in when I was running animation festivals. Ever heard of Spike and Mike's Sick and Twisted Animation Festival? I used to run those. And they were the guys who funded the first two Beavis and Butthead and South Park films. Yeah, North Base. Yeah. There's nothing in Norfolk. It's not a very interesting place. Is 0.1 layer height. This is going to be a slow print. We're going to need a bigger boat. We're definitely going to need a bigger boat. Essentially, this is going to be slow. I don't know if you guys all saw, but let's have a look. So, let's see. We got this here, and that part that's printing goes on top here. Part that's printing goes on top here. And that attaches to this, which is and then this is the base. It's called the script. And let's see. There we go. It's just like that. It's got lots of filling and priming and stuff to do. Hi. There we go. That's better. But that's where the dome is. I never really showed you guys that. No, dear, it's really good for the diabetes to go south. But doesn't it have to do with your food? Yeah, the food is better there. It's better for diabetes in the south. I don't know if no, it is. Cool. I always wondered about that food safe stuff. I printed an egg cup holder for like hard-boiled or soft-boiled eggs out of regular PLA. It works all right, but I don't know how long it would last. PETG works, yeah. Next roll of PETG I get, I'm gonna print out a new version of that egg cup holder. It's a nice one. Ah, okay, so here, trying to add some parts in here. Give you guys what it looks like here. So, there we go. That's that. That's that. Sort of friction fit in there. There's a part that goes inside there that still has to be printed. Yeah, start to see. Aha. Degrees. Alright, you know what, I'm going to switch out the camera. Should be charged. Switch out. It's easier. Sorry about the wobble there. There we go. That should be a little bit quieter for the rest of the people in the house. And probably sounds a little bit better for you guys. Didn't have the room sound. Yeah, the hot end. He's a crotchety old guy. I like watching him because he's definitely, you watch him for the crotchety old guy factor. Not that he's really that old, but still, he's just got the crotchety old guy routine thing going down. But the Australian version, I didn't like that, right? Got this thing here, which is just the polar opposite of Angus, who's just full of energy and yeah, I haven't watched him do that one yet. I guess when I get back from vacation and from being away, which I'm definitely need this week, a long week, trying to get stuff ready. I'm guessing anybody going to Murph will feel the same in a couple days. I'll have a lot to look at and watch. Yeah, I got the hot end. He's just a curmudgeon-y old. It's fun. Let me see. Please. Oh, wow. Cool. I think I'm going to have to use that picture, the picture of my live stream is the last thing with the BB8 head. I'm gonna have to find that and use that as my after the stream's over, use that as my picture thumbnail for the video. Let's check out the hot end. Let's see what he has to, what his videos. Oh yeah. I'll have to give it some of these guys who put stuff out. I'm not sure whether they're actually where they're basing their information on. You're going to print on the drive, Ron. What printer are you going to be using to print while you're driving? I mean, come on, James had his printer, his Cricket Delta on its side. How exactly are you going to secure it into the car? And have you figured out how much power it's going to use? How big of a battery you're going to need to run it? Or a power supply? Oh yeah. It's almost 11 here in the evening, so no coffee for me. Water. If I thought about it, I would have got a beer, but I didn't. Okay. And have you picked the model you want to print? Or are you going to do smaller prints? Oh boy, I see. Yeah. Okay, crabby. It's just tweaky. I'm curious how many photos this is going to take for the time lapse of this print. On filament from Matter Hackers. That's cool. James is going to print as well on his car. Is Colin going with James together? Or with Chris together? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what James could, I don't know if James has a small Delta that he could take. It'd be a pain to take that big old Cricket. I don't know if it even fit in his car. Yeah, okay. Like I said, my commute is, to my event, is maybe, cool. The Creator X3D. I think I know that guy. Okay. Ah, yeah, no. I think I've talked to him in some chats before. Well, that's cool. Yeah. Well, if you see him and you want to greet him, then say Guten Tag. That's good day. And hello is easy because it's just hello. So you got a couple of German phrases you can use with him. Or in his part of Germany, they say Servus, which is Bavarian slang for hi. And guten Abend is good evening. Guten Nachmittag is good afternoon. Or Tag. Tag is day, and it works like ciao. And with the Italians, it's hey, it's hi, it's... No, Bavarians have their own special slang. Servus, servus, servus. They, if you really want to hear it, go listen to some of his early videos. Although in his last one he just did today, where he's doing the stuff for his car, he's actually speaking what they call High German, which is proper German, not this dialect. They call it proper German, but not this dialect that they speak in Bavaria. Yeah, servus. Where's the beer? Where? Huh? What? He's about 5 hours from me. Now with the new high-speed trains, 3 hours away? 3.5 hours away from me. Just never had the chance where he was at an event where I was going to go to meet him. I would like to get a chance to meet him. I mean, this design, this printer is based on his dolly printer. Yeah, we have to look and see if you can actually import as a package beer. I think 1 or 2 beers you could send, but more I don't think you can. Yeah, actually, like craft beer, microbrew beer is getting to be really popular here as well. German beer is pretty good. I would almost go with Czech beer being even better. Like the original Budweiser, which is nothing like the stuff they sell in the States. I'm a little bit of a beer aficionado. I used to make my own. Still do occasionally. Yeah. Filament, I'd be up for. Some filament in beer. I'm trying to think what they. I think Porta Pasta sells stuff here. You can get Matter Hackers for the most part here. I think when you go into like some really interesting exotic stuff you can't get here in Europe. Beer, pizza, ooh. Yeah, so what kind of beer are you thinking about? Like Hefeweizen wheat beer or pale ale or inland I can't get here, I think. I go through for the cheaper stuff, like the branded stuff of the Eastland branded stuff, around 15 euros. PETG is expensive here. Vistron has it like, I think I paid like 15 euros for half 500 grams. That roll that I did this hot end carriage in. Yeah, I am. I've been trying to get ready for this Raspberry Pi event, printing until 1 in the morning, or up until 1 in the morning, working on prints, epoxy, and get home from work, start epoxying and gluing parts together, and troubleshoot my Octoprint, edit some videos. Box stouts, yeah. All right. I live in Berlin. There's a difference between Berlin and Bavaria. Bavarians are interesting. It's like any country, north, south. But the southern Germans, they have some good beers. In Allgäu, between Bavaria and with Buble beer, they have some really good, like near Nuremberg, and some really good like pale ales and things. And they have a law here. It's called the German Beer Purity Law. So you can only use the basic 4 ingredients of beer in beer for it to qualify as Reinheitsgebot, which is the German Beer Purity Law. Otherwise, it is not Reinheitsgebot, and you have to put an extra label on it saying this product is not Reinheitsgebot. Yeah. I drink some beer, but I don't go crazy. I brew my own every once in a while, and I kind of drink it as more of a connoisseur, like but I usually have a bottle of some sort of alcohol mixer to make a cocktail, but yeah, that's a difference. They don't get physically intoxicated in public, except in Oktoberfest in Bavaria. That's mostly for the amateurs. But yeah, they drink, but they drink consistently. It's kind of like the Irish. You get your buzz on and you just keep going. I'm printing. I'm going to the U.S., the Berlin Raspberry Pi event this weekend, and I'm printing this part here of the dome. Last 2 days I did this part here, and this is the part that sits on top of it. So it is a very slow print, and it goes around and around and around and around and around and around and around. Then does the support material, then around and around and around. So it's about says it's 7.5 hour print, but it's probably more like a 15-hour print because it's printing at 45 millimeters a second. Oh yeah, thanks. Like the smash. I have never been to Oktoberfest, and at this point I probably will never go. I went to the English Garden in Munich once, and there was enough. Oh, we took some Italian friends to this famous beer hall in Munich. Everybody in guys in lederhosen and the leather pants, and women in the dundel, traditional. Oh, yeah. It was when I was smoking, so I made a point to go outside, take my beer outside, and just drink it outside. And I gotta go outside and smoke a cigarette. You're taking your beer, yeah. That's the thing. You can, for the Americans, you can drink outside, and you don't need you don't have the brown paper bag rule. But it's not such a taboo here. You can drink a beer and wine when you're 16 here. So you don't have the same stigmas about alcohol so much. Yeah. In Ireland, they have some weird laws and stuff. Like, Ireland was the first country in the EU to ban smoking in public places like bars. And so they actually set up tents outside of the bars in the winter, and everybody would be out there smoking cigarettes. And you go into the bar, and there'd be like 3 people sitting in the bar. It's the funniest thing in the world. You think of a traditional Irish pub, and you think everybody's inside and talking and being loud, and everybody's outside under this like party tent, smoking their cigarettes, and there's 3 people inside the bar, and it's freezing outside. Yeah, YouTube had an issue or something. It just froze everybody out to the first stream. I've seen a lot of people who have had problems with their streams recently. A lot of people have had to restart their streams. Yeah, they have a weird thing here in Berlin. So in Germany, you can't smoke in public places like bars and things. But in Berlin, you can put up a sign. It says, it translates to smoker local. And there, then, if you have this sign, it's an exception, you can smoke inside. So there are bars where you can smoke inside. I stopped smoking about a year and a half ago. But it's mostly just the newer bars and stuff. I think the old ones were grandfathered into this old rule where you could just put up this sign and you could smoke inside. Yeah. I've had a couple of establishments myself and managed an Irish pub in Portland, Oregon. Yeah. So, who's still around? So we got Robert. Just Mike and I. Robert's in and out, I'm guessing. Last print. Last stream. Okay. So. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey. Cooking. What are you cooking, Ben? I had saffron rice and vegetables with tofu. I know. It's what was there. I had to work late. But it's good. Like a Asian stir fry. Cool. A giveaway hunt or Visa gift cards. Cable chains for the fun. Sloppy Joes. I haven't had that in years. The kids love fish sticks and mashed potatoes. Or we make pizza, homemade, self-made pizza. They love that. The Monoprice. I have never played with one of those Monoprice. A3. I think that was the same one that Chris did his giveaway with. The CTC version of the i3. And that CTC like version of the Flash Forge. Oh, somebody's auctioning off a Mark II's original Prusa i3. €351 right now, with 3 days left. Actually, at a better price, it's probably going to jump up to double. It's about 600, but still. Has anybody heard or seen anybody do a review of the ANET A4 Delta? That's an interesting one. I've never seen anybody do that one. Yeah, exactly. I'm always looking. I've got for parts. It's cheap. It's a cheap way to get parts. Yeah, exactly. In PLA. Oh, hey. Ron, if you're still around, you cannot get inland PLA here at all. In Europe, in Germany at least. Yeah, that's cool. I have not, one of these days maybe I have to play with one of those. If I ever find them on a price. For cheap. I might have seen this printer before, this A4. I just don't remember seeing anybody do a review. An Ender 2? That's too much. Get Ender 2 for 133 used. You can get Ender 3 for the Creality for that price brand new. Why would you? Some people on eBay are a little bit nuts. I'm going to put my printer on eBay and I'm going to sell it for more than it's actually worth new. Somebody's got a CTC version of the A8. Relatively cheap. An A6 stock. An as Joe would say, Ultimaker 2 extended. Oh, it's got less than 24 hours left and it's selling for 1,100. No bits. Another Ultimaker 2, also, only for pickup, €1,000, no bits. XYZ Da Vinci 1. What? I think there's a Chinese company who is trying to sell, who's making and trying to sell this as a Prusa i3 Mark II. It's got the orange filament and everything. Kit, auto leveling 3D printer and 3D PLA. Free shipping on eBay, and it's no bids, and its starting bid would be 370 euros. The Chinese have cloned the the MK2S. You guys curious to see it? It's in German, but the Chinese here have officially done it, and they've yeah, exactly. Somebody's gonna pay. Lives in the bed, yeah. I'm always curious what people busted up. Is that an actual original i3? No, it's like an i3 clone that has an aluminum frame. It's like the original. Yeah, it's the original. But it's been modded up. It's not working. 4 days left. It's in Dinkelsbühl, Deutschland. Mm-hmm. 3 bids. 4 bids now. 250 plus 8 euros shipping. 50. I'll throw a little money on that. The metal frame is worth that. Pay $10 just for the metal frame. Heck, there's a direct drive on there. Looks like it's one of the old gear direct drives. But the NEMAs are probably worth that. The smooth rods. The y-axis looks pretty good. It's got an aluminum plate on a heat bed with blue painter's tape on it. Ooh, yeah, all right. I'll throw a little money on that. Yeah, exactly. That guy, yeah, I think there's some people who just are selling off in China there. Yeah, he's got another one for $375. $3D printing pens, 3D filaments. Oh, this is that link. Nerdly got caught up in this thing. In eBay, people, they'll list an ANET, it says A8 in the description. There's a riprap Prusa 3D printer. They sell it here for 100 euros. But what you actually get is the Trunksy, the P802 kit. Yeah, I have PayPal. Ay. You're a You're a crabby butt, you printer. Yeah. Quit your whining. Blah. That's better. Let's just play with the extruder a little bit. That's better. That's the joy of a rep wrap. Takes a lot of TLC. Yeah, exactly. It is a, and they do send to the United States, and Canada, Britain, Mexico, Germany, Japan, Brazil, France, Australia, and the Russian Federation. Ooh, yeah, it's definitely coming from China because it's delivered between May 9th and June 20th. Does it actually say, is that just pictures of, that's just, looks like it's just stock pictures of a, that they cut out from somewhere else. Yeah. They just cut the picture out from somewhere else of a an original Prusa, because if you look at the picture, it's supposed to be sitting on the what? No. Huh. That's scary. Buyer beware. Because that's an actual print surface that they're shipping with the Prusa. That's funny. I guess if I won a Prusa or something, or saved for a while, I might end up with a Prusa, but I'm okay with the printers. It would be nice to have one or two printers that are like workhorse. The Creality, the CR10 probably would be, for a build surface, would be my choice. Did anybody see the 3D printing professor's review of the TiVo Tornado? Because Chris just did his review of the TiVo Tornado. It was interesting to see the 3D printing professor's review of the Tornado. He even talked about the thing that we don't talk about that happened on Facebook and Twitter with a certain printing, 3D printing YouTube creator. what he called it, TiVo Gate. I really, if you looked at the comments on the video, a lot of people have gotten the printer, the TiVo, and not had a problem. And the thing I found that was a little bit annoying was that he didn't say, like a lot of other people will review something, say, hey, I'm giving you a review of this printer, the printer that's in front of me that they sent me. And because you can only review the printer that you have in front of you. If you're saying that every single tornado is this way because one of them that you got, and it's still a new enough thing that you're from one printer to another, if they're both TiVo Tornadoes or CR10s or whatever, are going to be different. You put a couple of $100 on any single printer, even two of the same printer, they're going to be different. The smooth rods are going to wear differently. The belts are going to drive differently. The motors are going to wear in differently as well. Yeah, I think I think the benefits for the TiVo, from what I've seen, and I like Chris's review. You get I think the one he had, you only had the one lead screw for the Z. I think they come with two now. You get that power supply, the extra MOSFET for 24 for two for the heat bed. And I think the benefits of all of those, even if you have to do some upgrades and tighten some things down for the Y-axis, the belt. Yeah. All right. I'll keep the stream up. I'll probably go to bed in the next half hour or so myself, because I got to get up early somehow, maybe. But yeah, I think the benefits there, and the benefit of the TiVo being that you can add things. You have the ability to add a filament out sensor, or an inductive sensor for assisted bed compensation. You can't say bed leveling because it's not. Whereas the CR10, it's maxed out already. You can't add those things. You would have to change out. TiVo, you can get, I think you can get a copy of their Marlin. Yeah, not, but you can stop that now. So I've seriously debated between the CR10 and the TiVo Tornado, and the benefits of the TiVo seem like for me, like a better thing. You're going to end up, the CR10, you're going to want to do a second lead screw eventually. You're always going to have to do manual bed leveling and that sort of stuff. And it takes a long time to heat up the bed. I mean, Uncle Jesse, in his videos, he's talking sometimes about having to wait an hour for the bed to heat up. Even just to 70. Yep, exactly. But in the next big sale thing, if I've managed to save up enough money, I'll spend, in the next time I have the money and the TiVo goes on sale for $300. I think for me, it's a better investment. I have another printer here. I can print some upgrades for the y-axis or the leveling screws and things like that. I always have Chinese orders. I always have an inductive sensor or something laying around. Filament out sensor. I gotta order one of those from AliExpress. But yeah, just seems like a better investment from my end. Anyway, I don't have either one. I have not played with either one. That's just my thought after doing my research. If somebody wants to send me one, I'm willing to try them out. So, yo, GearBest, Banggood, and not AliExpress. I don't have 10,000 subscribers. But you guys want to send me one, I'm more than happy to try them out and tell you my honest opinion. Yeah, I will. I'll eventually get a larger format. I'm just not sure what and how soon. Some bills coming up, so gotta pay off some things, like everybody else. Yeah, cool. That's cool. I'll probably head out. I'll leave the stream up because this print is going to need a bigger boat. We're going to need a bigger boat. Definitely going to need a bigger boat. Oh yeah. Maybe we can see if we go a little bit faster. I don't want to risk it too much though, go too fast. It's 5 hours into the print already, and it's maybe 20%. Holy moly. And because I have less than 1,000 subscribers, I can only stream up to 12 hours at a time in a stream. Sing a little song. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. 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 Sing a little song. Do-do-do. 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 Wow. Oh, holy cow. Apparently people still like the 101 Hero. People are still watching my 101 Hero stuff. China, Hong Kong, Taiwan. Worldwide. We're going to print along in the vintage. Hey, how's it going? What's going on? The print, she's a printing the print of the prints. Not a support material in this print here. All right. I think I'm off for the evening. Time to hit the hay, get some shut-eye, close my eyes and check my eyelids for holes. I will check back in the morning and check back a couple of times. Remember, stay creative. Go where creativity takes you. And I'm going to leave the stream up. Thanks, guys. Catch you guys on the other side. Have a good day. If I don't catch some of you before you head out to Murph, or have a fun time, I'm looking forward to catching pictures. If you're interested for the Raspberry Pi event, I'll be bringing some of my 3D printed stuff up there. I'll have some stuff on my Twitter. Check that out. And probably won't be able to finish this print if it ends up being a 20-hour print on this stream, but I'll stream as much as I can, and then if I end up having to take off and do some work and then come back, I'll keep streaming when I'm around. And if I can't get to the end of the print with you guys, I'll throw something up on Twitter at least, if not Instagram. All right? So, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for sticking around. Make sure, if you haven't already, like the smash the like, share, and do all that other stuff. If you're interested, there are links for donation if you want to help out the channel. Either get a bigger printer or Patreon. That's it. Thanks, guys. I will catch you guys later.